guys? Joe Szymanski here. How do you like that, Mason Nation? Another big win for your Patriots today. Student section absolutely showed out. Go Green and Gold. Hello, everybody. This is Joe Szymanski with the Onward to Victory podcast from Giant Killer, your one-stop shop for everything George Mason basketball. Folks, we're here. It's the end of the A-10 season. It's been a long, grueling 2.5 months, but we've made it. And we end right back where we started from. Mason took on Spidey from Richmond, or some would say Henrico County, in the first game of the A-10 season on New Year's Eve. Your Patriots went in and took on Richmond. Came out of that one at home, out of that with a 62-58 victory. It was a good start for the Patriots, a key big start for your Patriots. This is really the first of the big games from Ronnie Polite. Polite ended up leading the whole team with 22 points on that. And this was also really before Josh Oduro really started to get going within the season. But obviously, Oduro only ended up with 10 points that game. Really kind of found his stride in the immediate aftermath of this moment here. But Ronnie was the one with the big game here. Honestly, for Richmond, of course, it's Tyler Burton, Matt Grace, those two guys. But this is also the kind of start for their freshman guard, Jason Nelson, kind of starting to take a step back. That's kind of been Richmond's problem. Richmond, according to odds, only a 4% chance of getting out of the Tuesday game. And it's also been a weird year for Richmond in terms of how they've played the Spiders. According to our good friend Petey Buckets, Richmond at home this year, very, 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 very good. One of the better teams in the conference at home. I believe if I look at this correctly here, Richmond are 6-2 at home in conference play, but on the road in conference play, they are only 1-8, and that does include some what many will consider some ugly losses, including at UMass, that don't look too hot, as well as at Joe's by almost 20 points in their last game. They did get a huge home win against SLU, but they've looked rough since beating Fordham 68-58 back at the start of the month of February. They've looked rough. Narrow win over Loyola Chicago at home, and then losses to LaSalle, VCU, and St. Joe's. And then those VCU and St. Joe's games, both by 15 points or more. Very interesting, though. This is a team, again, kind of similar to Fordham, but kind of similar to Dayton, in which the guard play is not that good from Richmond. This is very much a forward-focused team. Burton, Quinn, and Grace, all three of those guys, front court guys, those have been the key cogs. Jason Nelson, their redshirt freshman guard, who was kind of hoped to be able to take a step forward this year, hasn't really been able to do so. He had a very good start, but he's only averaging 8.3 points and 2 assists a game. He's young. I think he has a lot of potential in this league, but, it's been a struggle. Also a struggle for these guys. Not the best three-point shooting team around. 33% three-point shooting team as a total average here. That's been rough as well. They're pretty solid from the free throw line. They average about 74% from the line as a team. So significantly better than Mason, and they don't turn the ball over a whole lot, but this is not a team that, gets to the three-point line a lot. This is a team that does a lot of interior stuff, and with the way that Mason's been playing recently and how we've looked guarding the paint, this is a game that maybe a month and a half ago would have been a little bit less certain of on the road at Richmond, but I think now at the end of the season with the way we're playing, I do think in the end, Mason gets their 6th win in a row. I think we go ahead and we take down Spidey. I think we win this one here 68-64 here on the road at the Robbins Center. It's going to be a fun one, I think. Tyler Burton, his last, I believe what's expected to be his last game in front of the Richmond faithful. That, of course, will be a big motivation for him. One of the best to come through Richmond. Of course, I will point out Burton, of course, still does have his COVID year if he wants to. He's a true senior. But I believe the expectation is that he's gone. Neil Quinn as well. This is it for him. He was a transfer. He, I believe, is out after this year. Otherwise, this is a team that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game. But I do think, like I said, Mason takes this one 68-64 over Richmond. I want to hear your guys' predictions in the comments. I want to hear them. I want to hear them from you guys. Let me hear them. But otherwise, for now, thanks for listening. Last game of the A10 regular season, and it's tournament time, folks. Remember, your Patriots have clinched a Wednesday spot. They cannot move into the top 4, but they cannot fall into the bottom 6. Mason will be somewhere within the 5 to 7 seed by the end of the day on tomorrow, today, whenever this comes out. By the end of the slate of games, Mason will be somewhere in between the 5th and 7th seed. They cannot fall below any more than 7th. They cannot rise any more than 5. This is a big one. This is a matchup where a lot of people will be paying attention, but this is where it comes down to right now. Who will we play? And of course, that means we'll see you guys on Tuesday for the whoever we play preview on Wednesday in Brooklyn. Remember, Wednesday, not a bad thing now because the team's not playing on Fridays. Wednesday's start of the true second round tournament. Thank you guys for listening. Hit like, hit subscribe. Want to hear what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Thank you for watching the Onward to Victory podcast. I am Joe Szymanski. Have a good evening, everyone.